you become very familiar with one another, and it can become very, monotonous. So you have to spice it up a bit, do something out of the ordinary. And you have to give your spouse the opportunity to reveal new sides of themselves. Because, maybe, like I said, when you're used to the person revealing themselves in one dimension, after a while, it can get, in quotes, boring. But it doesn't mean that your spouse has lost their spark. It doesn't mean that the person has lost their attractiveness. Maybe you need to change your perspective on who they are and start to look at other aspects of their attractiveness. Who is he as a father? Who is he as a friend? Who is he as a mentor? Who is he as a family member? Or see him from different dimensions and different dynamics. But I think it also, like I said in the beginning, it also boils down to the fact that a lot of couples, after a while, we forget how to play.
Okay. So sometimes we simply just forget how to play. When you were talking, I was just asking myself, okay, so the first word you used, that word we used to use it when we were in second, tintillating.
No, but when she said the word, I was like, yeah, I haven't used that word in a very long time.
It clicked,
It did.
Oh, dear Lord. And then, I was just asking myself, okay, so you need to learn how to bring the spark back, play together, give yourselves opportunity to keep evolving and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you're hearing this and you are not at this level, then I think it's good advice, because then you know that, and we have established from the two of you also that it's not strange for relationships or marriages to get to that point where you're feeling like, I'm not attracted to you anymore. So if you're in a relationship or you're married and you're not there yet, it's good to know that you can get there. Reason you will have to keep finding yourselves, keep evolving, keep doing all the beautiful things. But I was asking myself, this person is already there and has gone beyond and is beginning to even think about leaving the marriage. How is she going to be doing these things with the person when she has, with him, she's thinking about, I want to leave and probably start a new tintillating relationship with some other person, So just hold your thoughts. You don't have to say anything. I'll take Ariel's thoughts and then we'll come and look into this. Ariel, please be careful this morning.
Edem, it's you. It's not me. It's
Don't
you.
mind me.
Well, this is an interesting conversation, like you said from the beginning. And like my colleagues have said, it is very, possible to happen. But that doesn't mean the love is not there, because love doesn't go away. She's just covered it with so many stuff. After a long time of being with this person, she's covered with so many things. She needs to start finding it and unraveling it out of her mind. And what also comes up for me is, what is she not attracted to anymore? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it that I don't like his body anymore? Can she be a bit specific on that one? Or it's emotional, or it's physical, or it's just mental. Or the way he talks to her. There are relationship dynamics too that affect relationship over time. Sometimes lack of communication, even brain chemistry can affect a woman at some point about these feelings, which she needs to look at. How old is she? What's she going through? What transition is she also going through? Can play a very huge role. And then we can have external factors, life issues, your own stresses, like Reverend mentioned, can also be things that could be affecting her feelings for her partner. So the thing is that she may feel all these things are gone, but they are there because you had it. Love in itself doesn't go away. She's just covered it with so many things, and she needs to sit with herself, find what is really happening, and have a good communication where they can start now connecting again. So major part of this is a disconnection in the relationship, and it can't be connected again. But she is making up her mind because she's seen someone else, and the facts on the other side,
She's watching too many
yeah,
Nigerian movies.
you know, the facts on the other side are very limited for her now, and so she thinks, oh, this is what I want. Now let's not also forget, she may have a genuine reason where she think that this relationship is not serving her values or whatever. What is it about values as well? What is it that is making her off? Is it that this person is not honest anymore? He's what she needs to be able to identify the level of the disconnection, physical, emotional, or what is it? Then you can be you won't feel guilty if you take the next decision you want to take, that I am leaving. But if you don't even know why you don't want this person again, then you don't know what you're doing, and you get to the other place and also start feeling the same thing again. So she needs to do the work right now where she is. Find out, how can I love this person all these years? I mean, all over the place, marry the person, and then all of a sudden I think, nah, I don't want him again.
Yeah.
It means it could happen again. So she needs to find it and make peace with it before she takes the next steps.
Okay, great. So I would want us to broaden the conversation at this point. Madam, I know she's listening. We've given you your advice. I mean, I told her that I think that I'm sorry, but I mean, sometimes we're selfish. I think one of the things I said to her, I think you're being selfish. And I think you're being selfish and you're being childish, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she thought that I was hitting very hard at her, but I thought that's what it is, because nothing is happening in your relationship. You have a lot of very silly conversations with people. You have too many not correct people around you, and so you feel like there are so many things I have lost in the past, that now I am a big girl, I'm standing on my feet, I can make decisions for myself, and I want to enjoy life, and I don't want to be stuck in something I am not enjoying. All of a sudden, you know that you're not enjoying whatever it is, you know. So I wasn't very nice, and that's how come I thought that, okay, this doesn't, you know. But again, the other side, you thought that, okay, this is a conversation you should bring up, because then some people could genuinely be going through things, some of the things that we have talked about, and could pick a thing or two from it. So now I want us to broaden the conversation and ask, but why do people get there? Generally, what can cause the attraction to fade? Apart from being in a relationship that you were forced in, if you were forced to marry somebody because of pregnancy, because of family ties and all of those things, then it may well be that right from get-go, you were not even attracted to the person. The marriage was arranged, contracted, or was forced.
Yeah.
So that one, yes. But I'm looking at the I love you, we have gone out on dates, we are good, then we plan that we want to be in this relationship, go the long haul. So we are either in a relationship, a serious relationship leading to marriage, and then all of a sudden you start developing cold feet, you're not finding the person attractive anymore, and you're being so hesitant in the relationship. That's the kind of relationship we're talking about. Or you're already married to this person, and then some way, somehow, everything just goes cold, and you're asking, what usually, so people can be, you know, guided and guarded, what could make you get to this stage, so that of course, again, let me say this. If it's a big issue that has hit the relationship, then yes, there's you know that something big has happened, and because of that, you're hurt, and so you're withdrawn. But apart from that, I'm sure there are things that could be happening that you can't really put a finger on, but it's eating the relationship away slowly and probably taking the attraction away. So I want us to delve into those other ones, so that our audience can take cues from it and know that if you leave this one, you don't attend to this one, you don't tend to this one, you could well be using that beautiful attraction in your relationship, and it will take the bliss away. Ariel, I'll start this one with you.
Okay. So, like we have said with the first scenario you gave us, I mean, when you're in a relationship, things start happening. And if you are not yet married, but I mean, you just meet someone and you think, oh, I like the person. But after some time, you think you don't like the person anymore. There are several factors. So I'll call them factors because they may not be the same for everybody. Things that can happen to somebody may not be the same for someone else. Maybe you realize that the kind of lifestyle they lead is not the kind of way you want to live. I, for one, I've just gone to somebody's office and it was a turn off. But when I met a person the first time, I mean, I thought, okay, let me listen to this person. Let me see what's going to be. But after going to the person's office, I just told myself, no, it's not something I want to go into, you know. So things like that, you know yourself, and you can tell that, oh,
Was
it's
it
because
the environment or how they were treating other people?
the environment.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, for me, I was like, if this is how your office can be,
Then your home is
it didn't sit with me. Yeah, you know. So if you can tell what it is, it's different because you know, okay, I just think that the way he talks, or he shouted at me, or his the way he treats people. There's another thing. Sometimes the way you go out with someone and they treat others can be a red flag for you. You think if you can treat others like this, then possibly after some time you will treat me like that. So at the beginning of a relationship, there are so many factors that can come up for someone to decide that no, I don't want to develop what I thought I wanted to do with this person. But if you are married, it means you have already taken a lot of steps and thought this person is worth your love. So if you get to the point where you think it's not the person anymore, you need to go back to the beginning. What did you see? What made you make that decision? What made you make that choice?
No,
and
I'm actually even looking at
what
some of
happens?
the things that can lead to you feeling that way.
Lack of communication is the first one I was going to say.
Okay.
Several misunderstandings over time, misunderstandings that are not resolved. So miscommunication, you are not communicating properly. You are not addressing your needs. And each person thinking the other person is the problem, and nobody taking responsibility to sit with a problem and say, okay, yes, I am wrong here. And so what do we do? Lack of apology, lack of respect. Sometimes you not being appreciated in the relationship can let you start losing how you feel about your partner, because sometimes a woman or a man doing so much for the home expects some sort of appreciation, acknowledgement, and maybe your partner is always not ungrateful to all the things you do, can over time make you feel like, why am I here? This person doesn't even see all that I'm putting into the relationship. So the values may also be changing. You may be growing and thinking, this is how I would have loved to develop, you know. And so this relationship is not sitting with me. But all the things that may bring you to this place are things you need to discuss. So communication is a big factor to being in a relationship where you think, I don't like it anymore. Why don't you like it? Can you open up and discuss this? Because everything that is happening came over time, and you might not have been talking about it, and you've been keeping it, and now it's caused anger, it's caused dissatisfaction, it's causing you unhappiness and all that. So communication is the first point of handling these things when it comes up.
Okay. Lack of communication. And you've actually mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
These things can cause you to check out mentally, from a relationship.
Yeah.
You're not communicating well. You're not resolving conflicts. You're playing the blame game.
Yeah.
You're not respecting each other. There's lack of, owning up and taking responsibility. You're not apologizing when you have to. And, lack of appreciation. So if you allow all of these things to fester in your relationship, then over time you will realize that you will just be looking on, and there's nothing really gluing.
And then
or
there's
attracting.
physical, not taking good care of yourself for your partner to find you attractive
Attractive enough.
anymore. Because
Okay.
when you met, you might have been a certain way. And over time, we all change, we all develop, but you need to have your grooming also very important, which can also be a turn off for your partner.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right, Kofi, let me come to you now.
Okay, so I think one of the most common triggers is when a spouse feels that their needs are not being met, when they feel neglected,
Yeah.
both emotionally, physically, and even sometimes financially. When the conversation stopped or stops, as Ariel said, there's no communication. When you don't touch me anymore, you don't compliment me anymore, you don't spend time with me anymore, you don't come home anymore, you don't meet my financial needs anymore.
Yeah.
It may make the party feel, the aggrieved party feel unloved. And then again, when there are unmet expectations, you went into the marriage thinking that, oh, in 3 years, we will have our own children, we'll have our own home, we'll be going on vacation. Sometimes it could be based on promises that were made to you. Oh, I'm going to take care of you, we will do this and we'll do that. And then after 3 years, 5 years, none of these things are happening. And it may not be because your partner or your husband or wife has refused to do them. Maybe they simply cannot afford to do them.
Yeah.
Maybe they would love to be home with you all the time and spend time with you, but their job or their work does not allow them to. Or maybe you are just excessively, you are expecting way too much from them. The little time that they make for you, it's not enough for you. You want to, I don't know, you want them to be home all day for you to feel that they're making time for you, but that may not be realistic.
You want
because
them to be
of
home all
location.
day and still provide everything. Magic.
Exactly. Exactly. You want them to fix you breakfast in bed.
Magic.
Meanwhile, this person goes to sleep at 1 a.m. because of maybe work or other things that you're doing. So some of your expectations may not be met because they're just simply unrealistic.
Magic. It's magic.
Again, it may be, as Ariel referred to earlier on, it could be the stage of life that you're in. For instance, you know, when you're going through menopause, let me speak about, to our women, you could feel a certain way or ways that you don't control.
Yeah.
It is simply out of your control. You feel unloved or you feel unloving towards your spouse, and it is not because of anything they have done, or it is not because of anything that you have done. It's simply something that is coming out of you that you don't have a hang on or you don't control. And so I think at some point it may be very necessary for you to do some introspection, to look at yourself, and also in the particular instance of the situation that we're discussing, what are the reasons that makes you feel so attractive to this other person? What is it that they're doing? Is it because they appear to be giving you a listening ear all the time? They appear to be more caring, or there are things that you see in them that you think your spouse doesn't have? For all you know, it could well be a game. It's a game plan just to woo you, just to get something they want out of you. And then you also must be warned that if this person knows that you're married and they are making these moves and they are encouraging your interest in them, chances are when you're married to them, they may start looking elsewhere too.
Yep.
So be warned. What goes around comes around. He may seem attractive today and be willing to provide and do all the things that you think you're missing in your marriage, but he's likely to go ahead and even after you have him to do the same to someone else.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. I took note of that. Unmet expectations, unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
That's the one I like. The one that they expect you to be a magician, especially so from the woman. You're at home. You want to live in a very lavish home. you want to live a very lavish
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
You need this
Vacations.
vacations, all
Trips
that.
to Dubai.
Exactly. Yet you want the person to still be available, making you breakfast in bed, serving you serving you dinner, and taking you places and always being there. Like, that's pure magic. If it's not magic, then I don't know. And yeah, I mean, how do you expect the person to do all this?
Yeah.
I won't say choose one, but you need to find a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you talked about the stage at which you may be in life. I wrote something down, but I'll hear from Phoebe before I go into that one.
Okay, so I just wanted to say that sometimes there's a lack of vulnerability. So what happens after a while with all the responsibilities that we take on as, spouses and parents, it comes to a point that sometimes we forget to emotionally connect regularly throughout the day. So you go to work in the morning, especially if the both of you are employed, even if you are not, you go your separate ways in the morning. How do you reconnect when you come together again?
Yeah.
It's very important that we value these moments. We need to connect with our spouses on a daily basis. We have to find, various habits that we are practicing daily to reconnect. Instead of eventually developing parallel lifestyles. And we need to create a platform, that opportunity where we sit at the end of the day, we, share our burdens, share our trials, share our struggles, but also celebrate our wins, celebrate the things actually working out in our lives, celebrate progress, celebrate achievements, and also work alongside with these expectations that one may have. How can we work on them together? Even if they're unrealistic, if we agree is something that we both want to ascribe to, how can we work on them together? We have to be careful that we do not separate from one another and start living divergent lives. That's the thing. Because that can, always seep in quietly. Instead of remembering that we are not just, people who are in charge of responsibilities in our lives, but we are also partners. We are also lovers. I don't remember the last time, I don't hear a lot of couples saying that my husband is my lover. My wife is my lover. And when you use such words, such pet names, it's pulling you back together. It's saying that, look, there's something very soft. There's something very romantic and very loving still about your relationship. And that emotional connection, I mean, we can talk about the different aspects, the hormonal changes in women, the shifts and the changes in the seasons, financial issues, stresses, all these things can affect attractiveness. It's true. But you can't run away from the different things that can happen in life. We can't run away from challenges. But how do you keep reconnecting daily in spite of everything that life can throw at you? Because your relationship is not supposed to be based on situations. It's not situationally, what's it called? What's the word? You're not winning on a situational basis. Your marriage is not being successful on a situational basis. Whatever she's seeing in this other guy is peripheral. It's temporal. She hasn't seen the depths of his personality, the depths of his being, the depths of his spirit, the depths of his mind, the depths of his relationships with other people. She doesn't know that. And there's a certain richness and attractiveness that you can get from building a life with someone and digging deep into another person's psyche, emotion, spirit, working through hard times with them. I had a couple that sat with me recently, and I was so proud of them. They've been through so many hard times. Their house had been robbed, and it had burned down. Two very serious situations. And they are still very bonded together. And they were talking through the trauma that they had experienced afterwards. But they're practicing wonderful things together. In spite of that, they are exercising together. They spend time together to talk about how they're feeling. They spend time with their children. So they are constantly refreshing that bond because situations like this can split a family. You talk about people even going through miscarriage. It can split a family, losing a child. It can split a marriage. But you need to keep coming back to that connection that the two of you, that bond that you had in the beginning.
Great. So, you don't go into marriage with I mean, if I'm summing up the things you're saying, with the macha makwe attitude.
No.
You know, like
Forever.
you're going in to try it and see, okay, if I go and my expectations are not met, well, I might as well just come out. If I
I'm
go
gone.
and this is that, I'm gone. No, it's a lot of work that you have to know, and it doesn't. I mean, the beautiful marriages you see or the beautiful relationships you see, they don't just drop. They work at
They
it.
work.
Like
Yeah.
Phoebe is
Yeah.
saying, you see this couple outside working out together and they are excited, and you think that, hey, these people, they have it all. You don't know the things that they are dealing with and still trying, to find their connection. But Phoebe, when you said that, I think I wrote it down. Yes, exactly. When you talked about the fact that you need to be able to tell your partner that you are my lover. You can't say that if you did not marry your lover. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But you are married to the person, so
But you see, so I was gonna say that if you married out of compulsion, I mean, whatever compulsion made you get married to the person can never be your lover, because you always think about why you got married. Like I said, maybe because you're pregnant and you didn't want your pastors to see that you were pregnant before, so you rush and go and get married to the person. You get married because your parents are saying that, oh, you're growing, you have to get married. You get married because I've dated a few people, it's not working, I met this person, the person came talking marriage. Maybe the person is at a state that the person is also having pressure to be married, so let's get married. You people were never lovers. And so there's a different reason binding the two of you together. Got married because my biological clock is ticking. I want to have children very quickly. So you see this person, once they get into the marriage and they have children, that becomes their priority. They don't care about anything else. So if you married out of compulsion, Phoebe, it will be very difficult to say that you are my lover.
I have something to say to that. Thank you so much for raising that. It's a very good point. The question for all of us should be simply this. Do we marry the one we love, or we love the one we marry?
Or we marry who is available.
Basically, love is not just about the feeling and the affection.
Lord,
It's a very intentional act.
Exactly.
love is a choice.
Even for those who started romantically loving each other, if you don't make that intentional decision to love that person daily, it's going to be a struggle. It's a flame that needs to be fanned on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's not something that, it's not a spark, it's not an ever-living spark. It needs encouragement. It needs some stirring up.
Great.
So, in spite of, yes, the basis for your marriage, it varies from person to person. Even those who felt they were in love, maybe they were not. Maybe it was just infatuation. But once you're in it, be intentional,
Yeah.
be decisive,
Yeah,
be committed, be sober-minded about what you've done. It's not a flighty engagement. It's not, you're not dating. You've made a commitment. You have other
That'll
people
work.
who are invested in what you have established. And what steps do you want to take? Sometimes, that's another thing. Sometimes we think that we are carried away by situations. We're carried away by emotions. Don't be that person. Be stable. Be like I said, sober-minded. Be serious. What do you want to do? And what are the consequences of the actions you're going to take? Maybe if a lot of us paused and did that more times, we'll have less issues when it comes to our relationships.
Great. So yes, it's a lot of work, and you have to be willing to put in the work. I also noted that, so we're looking at some of the things that can make the attraction fade, right? If, for instance, you're in a relationship or a marriage and you are the only one trying, you're the only one trying. let's try to do this. The other person is, has a very, my son will say, a nonchalant attitude. You're the only one trying. At some point, you could also become very weary, and then, you let go. And then this other one, familiarity. Yeah, we have just become familiar, and anything goes, anything could go for your marriage. And so I like it when everybody talked about the intentionality. You will have to always be intentional, not to say that, because if you become familiar and it becomes a routine, definitely you'll be bored. So yes, you have to look at that. I also noted lack of forgiveness. I have forgiven you, but
resentment.
You have tied it and you are putting it somewhere just for the moment, okay, so that we can have peace. You say that you have forgiven the person, but you know deep in your heart that you haven't let go, you haven't forgiven, and I mean you will have a lot of fluctuations in your marriage, So if you're forgiven. And I think we've had that conversation here several times. You will have to allow yourself to go through the process of hurt and everything and get to the point where you are actually in the place where you know you have forgiven and you have let go. Otherwise, you will be hurting yourself and hurting the relationship, and then the attraction will no longer be there. And I mentioned selfishness. A lot of people are very selfish, like very, 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 very selfish. Just me and me alone. And then I think somebody talked about this. Finding a lack of proper lasting solutions to issues. You have issues, you're not finding
resolving
them
the conflicts
very well, and then you think that okay, we can always come back to it. Sometimes that hurt is still in your heart because it hasn't been addressed properly, and you're carrying it on. It could turn into a lot of resentment, and this is where I side with all my guests to say again that marriage is a lot of work. The attraction can fade tomorrow if you don't put in the work. Phoebe just said it's not a perpetual flame that has been stoked simply because you saw the person today and you say that I love them. No, you have to keep working at them. Otherwise, you go and see somebody and you say I'm attracted to this person, get close to them and you start running away. So all that is there, and I'm sure that everybody is saying this. I mean, Kofi's been married for so long, Phoebe the same, Muriel has her own experiences. Me, I'm just beginning, you know what I mean. So
you're the expert.
You're a professor right now.
I'm just beginning.
Exactly.
You're a professor.
So, I mean, some of these things are not things that have been read in books or, the things that we will have to
and
work
mentioning books, like we were saying, these are factors and it may not be the same. I mean, for instance, I started reading marriage books earlier on and I was looking to see my problems in the book. They were not there. And so I was like, my problem is unique. So I had to find a way to live with it and handle it. So, for me, I couldn't find how to relate to it. They were not talking about what I was dealing with in any of the books I read. So everything can be different for you. So comparing your relationship with someone else's own is also another delusion we sometimes get into, because their situations may be entirely different. Because of personalities you might be dealing with. Their partner is different from your partner, and you think because they don't have the same problem, it means theirs is better than yours. No, it's not.
I want to ask a question. So, I mean, we've talked about all the things, but is physical attraction also very important in this situation? Must it be that you're very physically attracted to the person before you even think of getting into a relationship with? Because you hear a lot of people say that, don't look at the physical, you should look at the character. But what role does physical attraction play in this, in resolving this issue? I don't know who wants to go first.
Let's Reverend go.
I think we cannot ignore the physical aspect of attraction. Obviously, even the first time you met somebody, there were things they did. There were things, or the way they looked, what they were wearing or things they said. There's something physical about attraction that cannot be ignored.
Yeah.
And so we're in a situation where I think one of the panelists have already alluded to it, where one person lets themselves go. They, maybe when you met them, they were very slim, a size 0, and now they become something else. Even the man, maybe he had a 6-pack, and now there's a one big pack.
A round back.
So there are changes in our bodies or things that we experience or we allow to happen to us that may make us unattractive to our spouses. And so yes, physical attraction is very important. Or maybe they are no longer taking care of themselves. They are coming to bed without brushing their teeth. Maybe it's very important to you that your spouse takes showers before they come to bed, and they are no longer doing it.
Yep.
So there could be so many other things that they used to do physically, or things that you expect them to do that they are no longer doing.
Yep.
That can cause you to lose the attraction or cause you to, in quotes, fall out of love with them.
Okay. I'll come to Ariel and Phoebe, but closely related to that will also be how about not how should I put it? Sexual dissatisfaction.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also that also plays a huge role.
Can that also affect cause the relationship or the attraction to fade? Kofi, I'll take that from you and then I'll come to the ladies.
Yeah, of course. It means that your emotional needs are not being met. Your sexual needs are not being met. As they say body no be firewood, right? You're in a marriage, you have a partner, and for some, especially Christians, you're in a marriage and you are together with that one person because you don't want to be out there with everybody else and be sinning, and that's why you're with this person. You expect some needs, emotional and sexual needs, to be met by him or her, but they are no longer doing it. They are no longer performing their duties, and it is not because of maybe ill health or some serious condition that is out of their control. They're just refusing to do it, or because they themselves also do no longer find you attractive. Obviously, that could cause you to begin to lose the attraction and to that party.
And that's a big one.
Yes, that's a big one.
Okay. Maybe I'll come to you, then I go to Phoebe.
Yeah. Your physical looks and your grooming is crucial to how your partner feels about you. You can't leave that to chance. No, because if you even upset someone, how you look is the first thing they are going to see. And if how your partner knew you from the beginning, you're changing over time and you're not doing anything about it, that leaves a lot to be to affect how they feel about you. And not forgetting that changes will definitely happen, especially as mothers are having children. But how you take care of yourself is important. You may not be a size 0 like you used to be, but in whatever size you are, you can still rock it, and let your partner feel that you love where you are, you are taking good care of yourself, you show up. But if you also start not liking yourself as you're transitioning, then you start losing, your qualities. How you look, how you take care of yourself, your little grooming. And the men, sometimes men don't think women look at the physical appearance. They do. They do. How you keep your nails.
Think we don't?
They think we don't. How you keep your nails, your toes. Women look at them. They look at how you keep your hair, how you talk. These little things are a turn off. And if at the beginning you were doing them and then as you grow, become daddy, now you stop doing them, it can't affect the relationship. And for women, when you get into your menopausal stages, it's a different ball game altogether. Sex will change for you. And that is why communication, if you don't know how to communicate with your partner, you will be in trouble. Because sex is a different thing for you at that stage. And so your partner needs to know what you're going through and tell them. Because if they don't understand it and they also don't know, it means you are failing a huge part of what they want. So the men also needs to know that at that stage there are a lot of things the woman is going through, so they need to connect well, they need to understand the stage and how to transition it when it comes to their sexual interactions, because if they are not careful, that can be a very big problem at that stage in the woman's life. And when a woman gets into the menopause stage, she can't have a flat tummy, she can't look the same way, but it's her responsibility to keep working at herself so that she can feel good about herself, because there are several things that she'll be going through at that stage. And if she's not aware of those things, she may take it out on her partner, because she's always irritated already with the things she's going through. And so if the partner too don't know, oh, she's at this stage, there will be a big problem at that stage. So physical looks and grooming and well-being and all that is very, very important. Yes, very,
as
very
well
important.
As
the sexual
satisfaction.
Yes, satisfaction. Yeah.
When you were talking, I was just thinking that, okay, imagine a woman going through her menopausal stage where she is very, very confused, and then you have a man who is also going through midlife crisis. And these people are trying to live life together.
It happens. It happens.
Your home can be on fire.
Yeah.
Phoebe.
Right. Well, sexual satisfaction is a shared responsibility. It's not, the onus shouldn't always be on one partner and trying to fulfill the other partner's, desires. What I mean by that is, whatever challenge or issue you see in your spouse, try and help them with it.
Yeah.
Don't let it be like don't let them feel isolated. Don't let them feel like, okay, it's your problem, you solve it. You have to work on it together. If your wife has gained weight or she's having hot flashes and she's struggling, support her and help her through that, because when that is resolved, the both of you are going to experience sexual satisfaction. If your husband is having issues with his grooming, step in, help him, support him. But I think the conversation around sex in our culture, there's still a little bit of embarrassment about it. We're embarrassed to open up and reveal our, in quotes, failings, our limitations, maybe even past traumas we may have with the whole idea about sex. Maybe the people we are talking to outside of the marriage are giving us bad advice or are insinuating all sorts of things that may not be true. And so it still comes back to, as Ariel was hitting on, in fact, all of us were talking about the importance of communication and vulnerability. You need to go to your spouse and say, okay, I feel this way, but it shouldn't be apportioning blame, because you're not trying to be combative. You're not on opposite sides of the coin. You're trying to work together, because once this is resolved, again, both of you be satisfied, your relationship will be nourished, will be nurtured, it will flourish, it will do very well. And there are people who are going through menopause, they're working with very supportive spouses and partners, and they're having a glorious time. So it's not, we shouldn't feel as if when there are challenges, especially when women are going through postpartum, men are also going through their own changes, that it means that, okay, this is the end. Sexual satisfaction, that's it. It's not coming back again. Some of these situations are seasonal, and we need to support each other through it. We need to love each other through it. But then if you're the one going through it, don't just take that person's empathy as a weakness, and don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Also work through it, because sex is non-negotiable. It's not a luxury, it is a necessity in the marriage, and do everything that you can. If you need to get help from a counselor, a sex therapist, whatever it is, do that ASAP. Don't sit on it, but start with the fact that both of you should work together to get the most out of it.
Great. I think one of these days we are either playing back or we'll bring Dr. Osafo to have that conversation we had. It was a very deep conversation on what sex really means, and we looked at it really from the medical point of view, and how so he took it from when from when you're a child to it was a very, very impactful conversation. I think we've played it back before. We may have to consider bringing it back again. And Phoebe, is because you mentioned that it is not negotiable. I remember in that conversation he said that just as we have our physiological needs, I mean, you can actually look at sex like that. You need food, you need water, and the adult human being needs that emotional connection
Yeah.
as well to be able to survive. And so if you're denying your partner all that, then you are really causing, problems. And it's a big one. Now, so far we have established that the attraction can indeed fade. And we have also established a number of reasons why that can happen. Of course, some can be very flimsy. Some people can be very selfish, very unreasonable, But there are some very, very serious reasons as well. And we've gone through all of that. If you're just joining the conversation at Joy 997 on Facebook and on YouTube, you can go in and you will, have the whole conversation from the beginning. We have some few minutes to go. What I want us to talk about quickly will be, and so when I come to you, we want to look at some of the consequences. So if this is happening in your relationship and you don't work at it, what could possibly happen? And then also, I think in talking, we have talked about some of the things we should do to keep the attraction. And so we'll just reiterate that, talk about what can happen if you're not working at it, and then reiterate some of the benefits or how people can work at these to maintain that attraction in the relationship when I come back to us. But the joy of every parent is to see their children grow healthy and become physically fit. I'm talking to you about Vitamilk. Vitamilk soy milk drink. And to achieve this desire, every parent needs to ensure that their children are given nutritious foods that has the essential nutrients that can promote their well-being. And you can get that from simply taking Vitamilk soy milk drink. It is rich with sorry. It's made from whole grain soybean. It's a good source of plant protein, and it's enriched with omega-3, 6, and 9. It has calcium and all the essential nutrients and multivitamins recommended for your daily and healthy living. It has no artificial colorings, no flavorings, and no preservatives. And they have been around for over 20 years. So I recommend the Vitamilk Champ for your children because the protein, the calcium, and the omega-3, 6, and 9 in there have all proven to help your adorable children grow smarter, healthier, and stronger every day. Vitamilk also comes in its regular soy milk drink. You can also have it in the energy booster with no caffeine, the choco, the banana, the strawberry, and it is packaged in 250 ml and 1 liter Tetra Pak. Vitamilk is indeed a nutritious beverage that feels good anywhere, anytime. So I'm asking you, do you want extra peace of mind for you and your family? If you do, then get more Enidaso from GlycoLife, a life insurance plan that truly delivers. Enjoy free e-health services, a guaranteed death benefit for your loved ones, and a permanent disability benefit that supports you through life's unexpected challenges. It's simple, secure, and just a dial away. You want to dial *765# now to sign up. Glyco will cushion you for life. And Pentecost Hour is a religious broadcast program sponsored by the Church of Pentecost, and it comes your way with the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Yao Nyamiche. It's on Joy FM on Sundays at 1:30 p.m., on Hits FM on Mondays at 5:30 a.m., and on Joy Prime Television on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Tune in every Sunday, Monday, and Saturday as Apostle Nyamiche brings you life-transforming truth that nourishes the soul, ignites passion, and restores hope in the nations. The Church of Pentecost, we are possessing the nations for the Lord. I told you this earlier, but because it's very important, I am telling you again that you always need to get Vitamilk for your family, because that's the desire of every parent. Vitamilk is made from whole grain soybean, which is a good source of plant protein, and it is enriched with omega-3, 6, and 9. It has calcium, and it has all the essential nutrients recommended for your daily and healthy living. It has no colorings, no artificial flavorings, and no preservatives. And yes, they have been around for over 20 years. So go on and choose the Vitamilk Champ for your children, because the protein, the calcium, the omega-3, 6, and 9 have all proven to help your children grow smarter, healthier, and stronger every day. It comes in different flavors, so you can have it in the regular soy milk drink. You can have it in the energy, that's the energy booster with no caffeine. It comes in the choco flavor, the banana, and the strawberry flavors as well. And it is packaged in 250 ml and 1 liter Tetra Pak. Vitamilk is indeed a nutritious beverage that feels good anywhere, anytime. And remember our friend Mr. Paul Mante. Remember the conversation we had? He was here and he says that if you make money, chop some. Enjoy your money, chop the money. We'll be having him for a series very soon, because that money conversation was really very important. But yes, was new for him and his wife. They are launching 5 books tomorrow. So he's inviting all of us to come. How to Own Your First House. That's the title of one of the books. Retirement Planning, Marriage and Finance, A Practical Guide to Multiple Streams of Income, and 80 practical multiple streams of income ideas. It's happening at PIWC, Kokoblemle, ATTC, and it's at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Well, what you didn't tell me is it free? Can people come? Because you see here on Home Affairs, and we're going to grab you, we're going to be discussing these books one after the other. But I'm sure there are lots of people who might want to come in and grab the book, read them, because How to Own Your First House there is very, 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 very important, you know. So is it free? Do let me know that so I can announce that, and then we will plan our series with you. But congratulations to you and Linda. So back to the studio. We have 10 minutes to go. 9 minutes, that is. And so we can do about 2.5 minutes each. And then we sign off. So let me start with Ariel. So we're looking at, quickly looking at what can happen if you're not working at it.
Yeah.
And then for those who want to work at it, what can they do?
Okay. So when you gave us the question before you went off, I started writing a few things that normally start showing when the attraction is fading. The first thing, the sign that you will know that the attraction is fading, is the emotional disconnection. There's no more emotional connection. There'll be a communication breakdown. And for me, that was one of the things I always look back and I regret. Communication breaking down in my marriage was one of the things I wish I had known how to had worked at it back then. Communication breakdown. And then the next thing is there's always aggression and conflict. All communication is aggressive and there's always conflict. There's no special or appeal physically. there's no appeal to that person anymore. It's a sign. And then you start losing trust for the person as well. And then, like our story, you start fantasizing about someone else because you are looking elsewhere. You think, okay, I don't like this person again. And you are looking elsewhere. You stop supporting each other because now your goals become different. He's looking here, you are looking there. You don't share the same goals. And finally, you don't imagine a future with the person together. You are always thinking of another future for yourself. These are some of the signs that shows that the attraction is gone. But to work on this, it has to be an intentional work. You need to make a decision. It starts with a decision that this relationship is a relationship I am staying in, and I'm going to do what it takes to let it work. Right. Be intentional. Know your partner's love language. Sometimes you may be doing something for your partner, but that doesn't really resonate with their love language, which is also okay. But if you know their love language and you're able to connect with them on their love language, it's beautiful. Is it gifting that your partner likes? Give them a gift once in a while. It doesn't have to be only on their birthday, just for nothing. It doesn't have to be a big gift. You can come home and you might give your husband a key holder. I saw this key holder and it was, so unique and beautiful, and I bought it for you. Out of nothing. It's a very beautiful, way of connecting with your spouse, letting them know you're on my mind. I thought of you all day. I saw something and you're the one that came to my mind when I saw this. It's beautiful. Right. And then having a pet name, like Phoebe said. Having a pet name. When your partner comes home from work, check in with them. What was your peak of today? What were your low times? Check in with them and connect and make time to rub your partner's back.
Great. Thank you. Rub their back.
Yes.
I like that. Phoebe.
Yeah, so when this happens, what can creep in is a sense of neglect and abandonment. So after a while, the one who, in fact, both spouses can start feeling as if they're being overlooked. They can feel as if their feelings are not being, taking. There's no attention being given to the way they're feeling. There's no attention given to their needs. For women, our emotional needs can be quite prominent, and one needs to pay attention to these things. And if after a while that's not being done, what we consider as like our emotional love bank starts to feel empty. It feels as if there's no deposit, nothing is being invested. And that person can start having, that sensation of being abandoned and neglected. And that's when thoughts like this can start, creeping in, exploring other relationships that can satisfy that gap or that need that they have. And so that can be very dangerous. Some of the things that one can do is just taking it up from where Ariel left off, that explore non-sexual touch. Explore activities that the both of you enjoy. You're watching a movie, your husband is rubbing your feet, you're rubbing his head, you're playing with his earlobes, different, little touches of affection. You're just trying to, spark things up a bit, stir things up a bit. The thing is always to reconnect with one another. And also sometimes you have to disconnect from sometimes some of the things that we've learned from, culture. Like I talked about, things like feeling embarrassed to talk about maybe some of the things concerning sex and your physical well-being and grooming. Let those things go. Feel free to discuss things openly. Create opportunities to do that. Have like a weekly date where you don't talk about kids, you don't talk about work, you talk about each other. Put away your phones, put away other distractions. Maintain eye contact. That is one way in which, even research says it's one way in which we can just reestablish connection with one another and create that sense of intimacy, which is what is lacking. Sure. You need to develop that intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy. We need to bring that back. Sure. So carve out special times to do that. No kids, no distractions, no nothing. If it's an hour, 2 hours, if you can go out, great. If you can't, Try and create
Do it
that
at home.
atmosphere at home.
Thank
You
you.
know, and finally find ways to serve one another daily. You
Beautiful.
know, different things that you can do for one another. It doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be touch. Like Ariel said, if you know your partner's love language, invest in it. You know, find ways that you can serve that person in that area that they appreciate, so that they don't feel as if they're being neglected or overlooked.
Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you. And finally, from you, Kofi.
Edem, I first of all want to respond to Ariel. The men say that they don't want key holders. We too, we want shoes. We
Thank
want
you.
cars. Please buy us cars. Don't buy us
Kofi,
key
when I
holders.
see you,
I also want to.
So, Edem, potentially, when these issues, the feeling of feeling unloved is not, or when you lose the attraction is not resolved, it can lead to extramarital affairs where you think that you're getting from someone else what you ought to get from home or from your spouse at home. So one, it can lead to extramarital affairs. Two, you could end up being in an unfulfilled relationship where you're just there, you don't feel loved, you're just enduring the relationship and you're going through the motions, but you wish the situation would be different. And lastly, it can lead to divorce, because when you don't feel loved and then you start getting the affection somewhere else, or you start showing affection somewhere else, you may end up not wanting to be in the relationship, and it can lead to divorce.
Great. So,
Yeah.
first, let me say thank you to Reverend Kofi Boateng. Thank you to you, Phoebe, and thank you, Reverend Kofi Boateng Esquire. And to you, Phoebe, and to you, Ariel. Thank you so much. Someone might just say that, but when the attraction fades, it's a problem. But it's a very big problem, and we've gone through it. I don't have time. I would have, recounted all especially the things that could possibly happen that my guests have said. But we'll put all of them up on social media so that you will see. It's important that you know that there could be, serious consequences to some of these things. And I like how Kofi put it bluntly. Can lead to three things. It can lead to, Phoebe and Ariel said the same thing. It can lead to you wanting to connect elsewhere. Kofi was blunt because he's a lawyer. It can lead to extramarital affairs and divorce. I'm in a crack, no. So you want to be extremely careful, but that's basically it. If you don't mind, being divorced, then you probably can let it fester. But if you mind, then you want to work at it. And we've gone through all of it. We've talked about the reasons, what can happen, some of the things you should do. We've gone through it. But we also understand that there's no one size fit all for any relationship problem. So these are principles. You want to fit them into your peculiar situations and work at them. And if you need any support, please, you want to call 0302216540. Ask of my number. It will be given to you. And then I will pass it on to, our guest who will be willing to support you any day, any time. Thank you all very much for doing the listening. This has been Home Affairs. My name is Edem Knight-Tay Daniela. Thank you very much to Osofo Kojo Prodis. Thank you. And to, I always forget, Prince, thank you very much for handling social media. Weekend City Show is up next.